Hello everyone, welcome to day 26 of the speaking challenge. Today I would like to practice my reading skills again, reading a short excerpt of a book which called The Hero and the Outlaw. And this part called The Sage. Motto: the truth will set you free. Sages have their own way of finding paradise. Their faith is in the capacity of humankind to learn and grow in ways that allow us to create a better world. In the process, they want to be free to think for themselves and to hold their own opinions. The most obvious example is the scholar, researcher, and teacher or teacher. However, it can also be the detective, nightly news anchor person, or any expert sharing knowledge, including the classic disembodied male voice telling homemakers about the science behind a successful laundry detergent. Famous sages include Socrates, Confucius, the Buddha, Galileo, and Albert Einstein, but also George Carlin, Phyllis Diller, and Oprah Winfrey. We see the sage in all mystery stories, Sherlock Holmes figuring out the case, the science fiction such as any of Asimov thrillers, and in informative books, magazines, and ads. The popularity of the X-Files, which almost begins with the statement "the truth is out there," illustrates the perseverance of the sage in trying to sort out truth from illusion, and the paranoia that can result when the answer is not clear or easy to find. In politics, the sage is associated with the clear thinking but may lack charisma and social graces. Al Gore, teased unmercifully for his stiffness, is one example. Einstein is another. He was known for turning out a whole party in his honor because he has got interested in the pattern of the tea leaves floating in his cup. Sage brands include Harvard University, MIT, high-end consulting firms such as McKinsey and Arthur Andersen, and the Mayo Clinic, known for its diagnostic prowess, as well as the educational testing service and innumerable companies, research laboratories, and journals dedicated to discovering and disseminating truth. Stanford University, at one point in its history, decided to become the Harvard of the West and consciously developed a public relation campaign supported by investment in the research aspect of the university to establish a prestigious intellectual image, and it worked. Popular sages include Oprah Winfrey and Walter Cronkite, who educate and guide their respective audiences, and Irma Bombeck, who provided wisdom through humor. In decades past, many brands embodied sage identities and provided a strong educational role. For example, Betty Crocker on homemaking or Oil of Olay on skincare, but many have since gone the way of the 15-second soundbite. In fact, print campaigns of the 1950s often included some piece of information or advice. Advertising in general attempts to be helpful, to provide some piece of knowledge or wisdom as a kind of quid pro quo for the attention of the reader. Currently, there is an opportunity to renew the sage role in marketing, especially since the internet offers such an effective vehicle for contemporary sage brands. The sage, core desire, the discovery of truth, goal, to use intelligence and analysis to understand the world, greatest fear, being dubbed measles ignorance, strategy, seek out information and knowledge, become self-reflective and understand thinking processes. Trap, can study issues forever and never act. Gift, wisdom, intelligence. Levels of the sage. Call, confusion, doubt, deep desire to find the truth. Level 1, Search for absolute truth, desire for objectivity, looking to experts. Level 2, skepticism, critical and innovative thinking, becoming an expert. Level 3, wisdom, confidence, mastery. Shadow, dogmatism, ivory tower, disconnection from reality. The sage, also known as expert, scholar, detective, oracle, evaluator, advisor, philosopher, researcher, thinker, planner, professional, mentor, teacher, contemplative. So, the next part, the SAGE organization. SAGE organizations are often found in universities, research labs, think tanks, and companies that see themselves as learning systems, as described by Peter Senge in the fifth discipline. That is, organization whose structure and values promote continuous learning. Emphasis is placed on analysis, learning, research, and planning. Quality is seen as resulting from the expertise of employees whose freedom of opinion must be protected. The pace is measured because a thorough study is considered essential before change takes place, except in the case of newspapers and newsletters where information must be gathered and published quickly. Dress styles and the environment tend to be understood. The dominant colors are generally gray, beige, white, and light blue. Emphasis is on the collection and analysis of data, and the chief item of value is expertise. As employees, SAGEs have a high need for autonomy. If you think of universities and research labs as the quintessential quintessential SAGE environments, you can see that SAGEs want to come and go as they please. No time clocks, thank you. They like to do the work in their own manner, and they prefer peer to administrative evaluation. They are often skeptical of the ability of any mere manager to know enough to make educated decisions about their work. The SAGE organization typically has a very decentralized structure, emphasizing the development of expertise rather than control. Employees are expected to know what they are doing and therefore are free to make autonomous decisions. Usually, a small administration handles the business and marketing side of things, but most of the major decisions about the curriculum, teaching strategies, and even promotion and tenure decisions are made primarily by the faculty, generally through a cumbersome set of committees. Faculty are completely free to come and go as they please, as long as they teach their classes and hold office hours. They conduct whatever research interests them under the protection of academic freedom. Even in corporate America, research and development teams often have greater freedom than is allowed other corporate entities because they simply cannot keep researchers if they are overly hemmed in. Most doctors today see themselves primarily as scientists, and they are used to managing themselves and making independent decisions. This is, of course, why managed care has so demoralized them working as it does with a ruler archetype bias, limiting reimbursable time and requiring approval of treatment modalities. For-profit SAGE organizations also typically have decentralized and rather democratic governance. Visa was founded by D. Hawk as the first chaotic, his coined word combining chaos with order, banking organization. Visa is a loose confederation of banks that agree to certain basic principles and systems. Any bank can pull out at any time, so no one can tell it what to do. Representatives meet annually to make decisions almost as citizens make decisions in political causes or community forums. According to Hawk, the glue that holds chaotic organizations together is a common philosophy. That is why he advocates taking time to create a constitution that describes the ideas members hold in common. The organization is held together not by hierarchy or security, but by fidelity to common ideas. Other organizations based on chaotic principles include the Society for Organizational Learning and United Religions. Ray Anderson, the CEO of Interface, turned his company into a learning organization when he became committed to redesigning the company so that it was 100% sustainable. To do this, he turned Interface into a closed loop of resources so that the company not only turned raw materials into products, but also turned products back into raw materials with no negative impact on the environment. This meant that the firm could no longer engage in business as usual. Rather, everyone had to rethink absolutely everything in light of the new consensus that every decision would be sustainable for the natural world, the company, and its customers. To do this, Anderson trimmed the company's hierarchy and created permeable boundaries, see through walls connecting administrators, lab technicians, uh, technicians, and the design studio. Now customers can see employees working, and workers can see customers buying. Also, the back wall of the plant is made of glass, allowing workers and customers alike to remain aware of the beauty of the landscape around them. At the same time, information was made to flow freely. The result was not only the establishment of the first ecologically sustainable carpet market, but also savings of millions of dollars through greater efficiency. The Sage customer. When the Sage is active in the lives of customers, they are keenly interested in learning for its own sake. Freedom and independence are valued as a means of keeping one's objectivity, as in the case of universities whose faculties support academic freedom. One individual might be more interested in inner knowing and another in knowledges of the external world, but in any event, both feel that it is essential to think for oneself and have one's own opinions. The sage part of a person agrees with the statement, I think, therefore I am. When the sage is dominant in someone's character, learning is a compelling motivator. The accompanying fear is of being duped by misinformation and therefore misinterpreting data or a situation. At worst, the sage is dogmatic, arrogant, and opinionated. At best, he or she becomes a genuinely original thinker and achieves real wisdom. In appealing to a sage, it is important to establish your credibility. Otherwise, why would they listen to you? Moreover, never talk down to the sage and never use a hard sell. They want to feel competent, smart, and in charge of the transaction. If they feel that you are pushing them, they are likely to distract you and walk away. To sages, a purchase is a rational transaction. They want you to provide information about the quality of the good or service being sold and its cost. They simply want to make a logical decision based on the information. However, if in the process you help them feel like an expert, they are more likely to buy than if they feel confused, um, incompetent, or pressed. Reinforce their wisdom, and if you have a product that is demonstrably of high quality, they will reward you with their loyalty. The Sage archetype might provide a suitable identity for your brand if, first, it provides expertise or information to your customers. Then, it encourages customers or clients to think. Next one, the brand is based on a new scientific breakthrough or esoteric knowledge. The quality of the brand is supported by hard data. And the last one, you are differentiating the product from others whose quality or performance is questionable. So this is it for today. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye bye.